Races of people on average should have equal genetic potential for intelligence. I said should. That is a moralistic statement. It is not my belief about objective reality. Here is my belief about objective reality. Races of people on average do not have equal genetic potential for intelligence. I gave you my statement of should first, so you don't get the wrong idea about my moral belief. The is-ought fallacy is so common and so entrenched on matters of race that it's typical to think that an is always means an ought. By advancing the second statement, I'm not advancing white supremacy or anything remotely similar. I am advancing the opposite of racial supremacy. I'm advancing a hope for racial equality. Allow me to explain. Intelligence experts have looked past the is-ought fallacy. Most intelligence experts have quietly accepted the belief that racial differences in intelligence are at least half due to genetics. The result of a survey of intelligence experts was published in the article 2013 Survey of Expert Opinion on Intelligence of the International Society for Intelligence Research, and it corroborates the result of a 1984 survey, and it corroborates the attestations of those who work in the field and close to it, on both sides of the debate. They all claim that it is the majority opinion among intelligence researchers that racial intelligence differences are mostly due to genetics. That doesn't mean they're right. We should not believe something just because most claimed experts believe it. But it also turns out that they have good reasons for accepting this conclusion. Reasons that are largely unknown to the public. There are many such reasons, most of them requiring a high-level understanding of statistics, but I'll give you some of the reasons that are more relatable, that most people can understand. I have 9 reasons, including number 1, intelligence variations within groups are mostly due to genetic variations within each race, as we know from studies of identical twins. Number 2, there are very many human genes that significantly vary by race, that relevantly affect racial variations of every system of the human body, as every medical doctor knows. Number 3, intelligence scores vary by race on average consistently across all types of intelligence tests, including culture fair tests, and I say on average, meaning that not all Asians are smarter than all whites and so on. There are intelligent people of every race. Number 4, when black children are adopted by white parents, the intelligences of black children tend to match blacks in general, not their white siblings nor white parents. Number 5, mixed races and mixed race individuals have correspondingly intermediate intelligences on average. The average skin color, this is number 6, the average skin colors of populations have a very strong relationship to the average intelligences of populations, indicating that the average intelligence of a race is strongly related to ancestral climates. Number 7, the average brain sizes of populations are strongly related to the average intelligences of populations, and within each race brain sizes are highly heritable and related to intelligence. Number 8, the racial hierarchy of intelligence scores is not unique to America, nor any single Western nation, but it exists in every significantly multiracial nation in the world. Finally, number 9, all attempts to identify testable environmental causes of racial differences in intelligence have fallen short. I'll talk about the myths, because both the public and academia outside the relevant fields are plagued with these common myths about the sciences of both intelligence and race. Myth number 1, IQ is not a relevant measure of intelligence. Wrong. IQ is the most informative metric within the science of psychology. Even if there are many types of intelligence, there is only one general intelligence. It is known as Spearman's G. It is best estimated by IQ scores, and it's strongly related to everything we typically associate with intelligence, including academic success, salary, and high intelligence occupations. This is mainstream science. Myth number 2. IQ tests are culturally biased. Wrong. IQ scores are strongly predictive of academic success regardless of race. They are just as predictive for an Asian or a white person as a black person. And intelligence experts on all sides of the fence are united on this point in spite of the popular myth. Myth number 3. Human races are not biological. Wrong. Races are populations within a species, and races vary in their genetic allele frequencies due to differing geographies. The theory of evolution would be impossible without races. It is a pattern that comes about whenever there are geographic dispersions within a species, and the human species is no special exception. There are many straw-man arguments of race popularly promoted for the sake of denying biological races. If you hear anyone claim that races must have sharp lines of division, or that races must be defined by only one or only a few genes, or that races must be indivisible, or that we must all agree on the same set of races, or that races must have more genetic variation between them than within them, these are definitions of race out of touch with a theory of evolution. They are false for all sets of races within any species, and these definitions are assumed only to deny that races exist. The model of race is still common among evolutionary biologists is that they are both continual and internally diverse. American anthropologists tend to deny biological races, but not anthropologists globally, not evolutionary biologists, not forensic anthropologists, and not medical doctors. The concept of race is essential to their practice. The concept of race saves lives. The popular myths about intelligence and race are promoted for a good cause in principle, to fight racism. Maybe it used to seem to be a sound argument that, if the myths are wrong, then the myths should be popularly promoted regardless because they would help fight racism. Because if it turns out that racial differences are genetic, then such knowledge can be used for nothing but racist evil. But that was never true, and it has become especially untrue this year, 2015. Why? Because now more than ever we can use such knowledge for good. We are now on the doorstep of genetic engineering. This year, genetic alleles for intelligence have been identified, and they're being found to vary by race as expected. This year, mice have been successfully genetically engineered for higher intelligence. So it is now scientifically possible to genetically engineer humans for higher intelligence. Suppose, instead, we outlaw genetic engineering of humans out of a science fiction fear. Gattaca, or Star Trek's Khan, or The Time Machine, or Brave New World. The law will not stop it because rich couples will travel to a nation where it's practiced. They will pay millions, and they will return home pregnant with children of very high health, beauty, charisma, and intelligence, with IQs of 200. These children will become adults of high accomplishment. They will be celebrities visible to everyone, and the utility of genetic engineering will become undeniable. But these supermen and superwomen will tend to mate with members of their own race, so the highly desirable genes will trickle and spread within their own race. As a result, the races of existing high wealth and high intelligence, Ashkenazi Jews, Northeast Asians, and whites, will receive even more intelligence on average, increasing the racial intelligence gaps further. It does not need to be this way. We should instead keep genetic engineering of humans legal, and states should subsidize genetic engineering for the races of lower intelligence. If such genetic engineering among the races of lower intelligence exceeds the genetic engineering of races of higher intelligence, then it would close the racial intelligence gaps for the first time in human history. For the first time ever, the races would have equal intelligence, equal wealth, equal power, and equal success. Or, we can eternally close off this opportunity, because opposing racism in theory takes priority over acting on truly the best way to do it.